Does the person you are with encourage you to read? You have to ask, what does he bring for me? Roses or books? If someone has a stake in making you better, that person will push you towards books. Books are what we all need.
Thank you, sir, for coming here and enlightening us with all your knowledge that you have shared. Uh, I have two small questions. I have written this so that I can deliver that clearly. My question is, sir, I have listened from multiple sources that we should not chase our happiness because happiness is already within us. So, my first question is this right? And the another question is, if this is right, sir, then what's the purpose of doing our work? Like a person wants to become a doctor because after becoming, he will be able to serve the society and he will feel better after that. But if I am already happy, if I am already powerful, then what's the motivation behind doing our work? So these are my two questions.
Good. Both questions are useful. No, it's not that you should not chase happiness. You should chase great happiness, true happiness, high happiness, lasting happiness, happiness free of sadness, happiness free of fear. And this will tell you that usually the happiness that we chase is not high, is not lasting, comes with fear and comes with sadness. Does it not? Does it not? And that's the problem with the normal kind of happiness. So the knowers have said, happiness is not the goal of life. Absolute happiness is the goal of life. They were such super hedonists, you could say. We talk of ambition. Think of the ambition of the sages and the great philosophers. They did not even say that you should go for ordinary accomplishment or ordinary happiness. They said absolute happiness. Happiness without a second. Happiness without an end. That's the purpose of life. And that's the reason they said that the usual happinesses that you chase are all nonsense. Because those happinesses come on back of fear. Those happinesses are just shadows of sadness. Those happinesses won't last. Those happinesses would leave long periods of wanting and longing and shallowness in their wake. So it's a very misplaced notion that wisdom or spirituality are about dropping happiness or not chasing happiness. No. Have you heard of the word Satchidanand? Satchit Anand. Getting it? Truth, consciousness, joy. And if the first two are there, then the third one is the proof. Your joy is the proof that you are living in truth, that you are living consciously. How can then wisdom be against happiness? Do you see the nature of the sages? They were such greatly ambitious people, they wanted total happiness. We picture them as serious, grave, almost gloomy old foggies, no? If I ask you, can you visualize a rishi? How do you visualize him? Serious. And if you are not told that he is a sage, you will say, oh, he is some homeless destitute. Poor fellow. My sympathies are with him. Right? It's just because we are culturally conditioned to look at the image of the rishi as something respectable. Therefore, we don't say all these things. There is a great problem in the way we have thought of the sages. The sages were very, very joyful people. Very joyful people. And that's probably the reason they chose to live in the jungle. Because our cities and villages are joyless. Getting it? And if you exhibit joy to joyless people, they get very frustrated, even violent. If there are people who have condemned themselves to live morose, dull, boring, dead lives, if they come across someone who is truly living it, as they say, king size, he gets very frustrated and envious and therefore violent. So the sages said, no. We would rather retreat to the jungles. And in the jungles, they could freely exhibit their joy. Now this joy is such a superior kind of happiness that you cannot very easily visualize it. If happiness, in your opinion, consists of laughing or is expressed through laughter, then joy does not mean a guffaw. You'll say when you are ordinarily laughing, then you stretch these 2 points by half an inch, and in joy obviously the stretch extends to 2 inches. No. Which basically means that joy is not in the same plane as happiness. Joy is not a linear extension of happiness. Joy is a dimension different from happiness. You cannot say 2 units of excitement is happiness and 5 units of excitement is joy. No. Happiness, if it lies on the x-axis, joy lies on the y-axis. It's a separate dimension. Right? So the purpose of life is total happiness. Total happiness. Think of your happinesses now. Are they total? If they are not total, don't stick to them. Search for something higher. Search for something that won't abate. Search for something that is not dependent on others or conditions. If he smiles, I'll be happy. But it's not necessary that he'll smile irrespective of how hard you work for him. Right? If I get the right results, I'll be happy. But the results are not and never totally in your control. Are you getting it? Huh? So the more you start seeing that our happinesses are all conditional, finite, infested with sadness, infested with suspicion, the more you become capable of joy. It's just that in the beginning it might be a little frustrating, even depressing, because we are conditioned to happiness, and when that normal happiness is taken away, there is frustration. You will have to pass through that period of frustration. That's the answer to your first part. The second part, he said, but if you are already happy, why would you work? You would work because you are happy. Now that's again beyond your conception, because so far probably you have worked only because you wanted something, correct? Which means your incompletion makes you work, correct? I don't have something, so I work to attain that thing, right? So my feeling of incompleteness becomes my engine, my driver, my fuel, right? So it becomes very difficult for us to imagine how is it possible to work even if fully satisfied. Yes, now a superior quality of work happens. When you do not work to gain satisfaction, when you work because you already have satisfaction, then the quality of work is something worth watching. It is that quality of work that is called Nishkam Karma as well. That is the only thing worth doing. Not working to attain something. Working because I have something. Not speaking so that you will applaud for me. Speaking because I have transcended the need to be applauded. Do you understand this? Dancing not because somebody would make a reel or a short and gain me. It's very difficult to find somebody dancing without a camera on. Right? If you can dance, and particularly if you can dance well, what do you immediately do? You record it. You record it even if you dance very badly, actually. But can there be a dance where there is no cognition, no remembrance of the camera? You're dancing because you just, and somebody asks, but why are you dancing? And he says, stupid. He thinks there must always be a why. There is no why. I'm just this is who I am. Felt like dancing, so danced. But what do you get out of dancing? I'm not that kind of a beggar. What do you think? I'm dancing in the town square to collect alms? No. Start practicing this thing. Start doing things from which you get nothing. And slowly you will develop some taste. Better still if you start doing things where you not only get nothing but actually lose something. It will appear bitter, almost intolerable in the beginning. Slowly you will start saying, but there is a strange kind of pleasure in this. I'm loving it. Happens with practice. Happens with practice. Yes.